Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? This is author Coach Keandria Ragland. She's Purposeke Book Talks. Happy Thursday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm so excited to be back with you all today on another Thursday with another awesome author of the week. And so I'm going to introduce myself. I'm author Coach Keandria Ragland. She's Purposeke. I work with Christian professional women, helping them to identify limiting beliefs. As a burnout coach, I help bring balance to your lifestyle. So we are living healthy wealth, healthy boundaries, healthy lifestyle, healthy families, most of all, healthy families. So we're not bringing work stress home and home stress to work. I also work with people when it comes to just being an accountability partner, like accountability coach, when it comes to creating those strategies, those goals, and just breaking those goals down, whether it's week to week, whether it's month to month, or just a quarterly plan, right? And so that's She's Purposeke. If you are an author, if you have a new book out, a new project out, a new anthology out, I love to help celebrate you. I love to help bring exposure to your story, to your project, to your book, to your authors, your co-authors, right? And so go to shespurposeke.com, shespurposeke.com. And so listen, I want to go ahead and put this in the atmosphere for you all. As you go to shespurposeke.com, yes, it's the time to register for the 4th annual Women's Summit. Whoop, whoop. And so, yes, we are celebrating the 4th annual Women's Summit, The Power Moves Her, that will be kicked off March 27th, 28th. That will be virtual both days. It's a 2-day, but it's the kickoff for the in-person. The in-person is going to be in June in Lawrenceville, Georgia. So go ahead and mark your calendars. Go ahead and go to the website, shespurposeke.com. It's free RSVP. It's free registration. Everybody is required to RSVP. Everybody is required to register because it's going to be taking place on a private group, a private platform. So get ready. And so we're going to bring in the author of the week, and She's Purposeke community. You know how we love to do it. We love to celebrate. We love to support the authors. Authors are supporting authors. So let's do it. Woo, woo, woo. Yes, lady. I want you to come in. Let the people know who you are.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Vickie Benson, and I am an educator, has been in education for the last almost 30 years. And I am excited to be here. I am a grandmother of 2 gorgeous grandsons, and I have a daughter, and I am married to Mr. Lee Benson. And I like supporting women in their health and finding strategies to make sure they're always healthy. And a lot of people don't know it. When they look at me, they try to figure out my age. But guess what, ladies? I usually don't tell other males or male my age. But I will tell you, ladies, I'm 61. So I'm excited to be here and excited to have you on with us tonight in reference to what we want to call the 21-day Daniel fast, which is part of the biblical scripture that we know of the Bible, and to know how to take care of our bodies and making sure that we're thriving and living on an everyday good basis, and making sure we are all actually praying continuously as we move forth with our health.
Yes. Thank you. And so as you all are coming on, I would love for you to like, to love, to share, right? To like, to love, to share. And most of all, comment, congratulations. And so as we kick this off today, I know she have introduced herself, but let the people know when your journey started as an author.
Well, my journey started back in 2013. I decided, I was overweight, and I actually had lost my job. And then I was watching this infomercial by the people that make the little blenders and the smoothie the blenders that we move out smoothies in. And so that, okay, let me just try this. Maybe that'll help me. And so what I started doing, I started watching the infomercials, knowing how to mix my vegetables and my fruit, which is 50-50. And I started doing this. I was like just drinking that maybe 3 or 4 times a day. And then I was like eating protein, the meats and things like that. And so all of a sudden I started losing weight. I lost like 45 pounds within less than 3 weeks. And it was just amazing how it changed me and how I looked and how I approached things. I didn't know that I was actually changing the onset of my body, not only my body, but my mindset. And so I became healthier and I started walking more and I started losing more weight. So that started back in 2013. Remind you, I had lost my job at that particular time as an educator because I was in a different school district where I did not have tenure. So I decided that I would stick to it and decided to introduce people to A Healthier You with Dr. Vickie Benson. And when I started doing that, more people were actually, buying in on the process of making sure that they were eating healthy on a daily basis and actually, just paying attention. So right now I should be a rich woman, but I'm not. I'm not a rich woman. So when, if everybody knows JJ Smith, right? So I actually started my process way before she even started what she's doing. And so I got inspired even more to do more green smoothies on a daily basis. And it helped me a whole lot to really stay on track. And you really have to stay on track. Like I said, it helped me to absorb more of who I was and what I wanted to become. And I wanted to look better because, I had dark splashes in the face. Like I said, I was overweight and I wasn't thinking, I had a cloudy mindset and I was always frustrated. Matter of fact, I had fibroids at the particular time. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't know how to take care of myself. And if you have fibroids, you can detox and cleanse your body from the fibroids that you have because it's nothing but inflammation in the body. And so that helped a whole lot, even though I had gone through surgeries and didn't know. That was before I started learning how to detox and cleanse. And so it helped me a whole lot throughout my whole entire years as of right now. Like I said, it was 2013, and I'm still doing the same thing. And in fact, I'm on a cleanse right now. I'm on a high protein cleanse, and I do the green smoothies as of right now. And so, and I'm gonna say this: I work in school, so they always cooking, but I don't. Until staff came to me, she said, "Well, how much weight you gonna lose?" And I just laughed because I'm like, I'm cleansing so I can be able to function and be able to talk to people. I rest easily, and I won't be frustrated. And see, right now I should be asleep. Why? Because I've been at work all day. We're getting ready for a program at school. And so I've been singing with the choir and doing the praise dancers at school. But right now I'm at I have high energy. And so, once I wind down at night, I do my detox teas and all of that. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask the questions that you would like to ask. And so, and hopefully I will answer some questions that everybody really wants to know about and how to continue to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to ask you 2 things. You can kind of elaborate a little bit more about the fibroids. Like I know recently, last year, I had surgery. I had my hysterectomy due to my fibroids. So can you give a little bit more information on the type of cleanse that you do to help with the fibroids?
Okay, so I had fibroids before I had my first real child. And so the fibroids I had 2 miscarriages. And I didn't know why I was having these miscarriages that I was having. My body was not cleansed. And because I was perming my hair, right? And so as you know, that Black women that perm their hair end up having some type of problems with fibroids or the menstrual cycles or something like that. So that keeps them from producing good estrogen that they should produce. And so I actually had to stop perming my hair and actually do just natural hairstyles. And when I started doing that, that's when I started to see my skin started getting clearer. I always had problems with acne, and I saw myself aging, started aging. And so that's what I would start doing. I would start taking in green smoothies, and I would do with half and half fruit, half and half vegetables. And that's the story I start off in my first book, the 1014 Fitness Smoothie Cleanse, Unleashed Empowerment to Change Your Lifestyle. That's what happened. I wanted to change my lifestyle. I wanted to see how it would look if I were to just sit back, take in, the healthy choices of food, and make sure I'm eating the right things that I need to eat. So in that book, it actually explained to you the different things that I had gone through my whole entire life, up until now, where I had to do the detoxing and cleansing, where I had to think about something different, to get my mind right. I had to make a vision board of how I would walk through the vision board of God, and to start posting things and getting people interested in what I was doing. I also considered moderate exercise, which I just did walking. I didn't do a lot of hard exercise or a lot of cardiovascular exercise or strength training. And I started, the weight started dropping off. My body started healing. I also started to see God's face. I wanted to hear him. I hear from him daily. So I started praying over what I was actually doing. And he started showing me more things over and over. He started making me recognize that there are other people that are struggling and going through the same process. Making that connection with other people really helped me a whole lot. And understand my purpose and my passion for being healthier. And so I used to have something on Facebook until, I got compromised on Facebook, and I never post again about being a healthier you. And I do not confess to know everything about what people actually need, but I do know some things, and I recognize some of those things from people who has had issues that I have had. And so when people say, well, I got a headache, or my back is hurting, or I can't sleep well, that's when I know you need a detox. Your body needs to be detoxified. And sometimes I do it 3 times a year. If I really want to go on a serious cleanse like I am now, I will be going until the summer. I started in December, and I'm going to go all the way to the summer. So that's almost like 6 months of detoxing and cleansing. But I'm not going back to the foods that I used to eat, because that's going to put everything back inside of my body that I'm trying to get rid of. And that we do have parasites and things like that. If your body starts to itch and you just, you're scratching and you irritated, we have to think about those things that is happening with inside of our body. So I asked God, I asked him, I said, show me your purpose. What is the purpose that you want me to share with other women, and how to take care of their body on a daily basis? How are we going to look the way we should? Because, as an African-American woman or a Black woman, our skin is actually, we have a lot of melanin. So if we take care of ourselves, we're not going to age as fast. And we're not going to look like we're aging as fast. This year, I've already said I'm 61. I'll be 62 this year. So I still do the same things that I have been doing. It is a passion for me to see God's face first before I start doing things. I actually pray. I listen to prayers every single morning when I get up, when I get ready to go to bed. I'm always doing Psalms 91, because I always need God's protection, and for him to continue to heal me in the way that he has. So these are the things you need to start thinking about. These are the tips that you need to take yourself through. It's almost like you are in concert with God all the time, when you're dealing with your health, and you do have to be very careful. And I talk and preach it throughout my home every single day. My grandsons, when they're home with me during the summer, they have to drink green smoothies every morning with me, because it gives them a different mindset. They have to take their multivitamins, and women have to take their multivitamins too, which you do have to take the supplements, because when we cook food, all the vitamins, things come out of the food. I mean, it diminishes a lot. So therefore, if you are doing your raw vegetables and fruits and things like that and mixing with within your blenders, then you would get what you need. A lot of people like juicing, but you get more nutrition out of smoothies than you do in your green juices.
Okay. I just learned something because I actually I've been rotating. Let's put it like that. I've been rotating between the my smoothie and the juice.
Right.
I'm able to take more because I started doing the beet juice, but I'm able to take more in of either the beet juice or either the celery juice.
Okay.
With my juicer, my son had bought me a juicer, but I kind of rotate because I don't want to. I'm gonna be honest, I don't be wanting to clean that juicer every day.
Right. It is. It
So
will cause
I
a
kind of
problem.
rotate between my smoothie machine and my juicer. So, and I'm a consistent person, so I'm like, okay, I got to start somewhere. So for the last, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for the last, at least for the last 2 months. I've been pretty consistent, and then just set my schedule. So in between, with the juice, and I'm also
Right.
because I have a at-home job, I sit down. So, if it ain't nothing but if I can't get to the gym but 30 minutes, I'm going to get my heart rate up. So, but it's
Right.
routine for me. So I'm trying to make it a lifestyle, so that consistency works for me. So
Right.
I'm glad that you talked about that as well. So before I forget, I wanted to ask you about the detox tea. Is this a tea that you drink at night?
I drink my detox tea in the mornings on an empty stomach. I have come up with a new blend. I am getting ready to introduce a new blend to make sure you can add the blend to whatever you're drinking. It can be, I like decaf. I can do decaf coffees. I don't like a lot of caffeinated stuff. So I add my new fresh blend. I have people trying the blend out right now, and I have gotten a lot of rave reviews. Now, if you are getting older, as we all are, you may start having a little arthritic pain. Okay. If your back is hurting, if your head is hurting, in this blend, you got a lot of different herbs that is in the blend that you can actually add to your coffee. You can add to your tea. So in the morning time, this is the tea that I do drink because it is in my book. I think it's in both of the books. And so you want to add your water. You boil your water like you do, and then you want to squeeze some nice fresh lemon, at least a half of a lemon into your tea, and let it soak for 30 seconds or so. And then you can add your peppermint tea to it. That keeps you calm and keeps everything on the top. And the same thing happens when you add your ginger to it.
Yeah.
Fresh ginger or either ground ginger. And I know it makes me come. I call it my aphrodisiac because I just be so on cloud nine with my ginger. I love it. I love my turmeric with a pinch of black pepper in it, and it's good for digestion. It's good for arthritis. It's good for clearing the mindset. It's good for making sure that you are able to digest very well with your foods during the course of the day. And so I have all of that in there. And then sometimes I add some cayenne pepper, which is going to give you the energy that you need. And so if you're drinking that every day on an empty stomach, I drink mine throughout the day. And I'm going to be honest with you, I drink it throughout the day. I have a container. It's probably about 16 ounces that I drink during the course of the day. And my students always saying, how you have so much energy? Where you get all this energy from? Because when I teach, I dance, I sing in the classroom, I do everything, whole 9 yards with my students. And right now, I have a lot of energy that's going on, and I do other things too. And I actually promote other products that actually helps me a lot. And so, I mean, you just
Where
have
your
to
products
make sure.
located?
My product. You talking about what I'm getting ready to do now, or what I buy?
What you purchase? What you're talking about now?
Okay, I am talking about high protein.
Okay.
Ladies, if you really want to lose weight fast, you need to do at least 180 grams of protein every day. Yes, and you will see it come out fast. I don't care what you're eating. High protein. I like chicken and I like fish. I like fatty fish, which is salmon. I love that. Okay, and so I do like my mixed vegetables. I can do a melody of vegetables. I crave vegetables all the single time. I teach people how to make vegan cornbread. And you know, I do a lot of things that's on the vegan side. Then I do a lot of things that we do as Americans that we actually eat. Every now and then I tell people if you want to, well, you can get, a lot of people don't like using the air fryer, but you can put meats in the air fryer and it cooks if you like. That's up to you. I only do it if I'm doing my fish, and then I would do my blackened fish. I would do it in my my skillet, whatever I decide I want to do it in. That's what I do. So you just have to know what you're doing. You have to make sure you probably want your meat by the size of your hand. Okay. And so, and then have a balance, like your string beans or your cabbage, and you want your squash, and you cook it naturally. And we have got to stop using mostly vegetable oil. You do want to use oils like maybe grapeseed oil, mostly extra
Okay, I'm
virgin
glad you
olive.
said that because I've been using grapeseed oil. Yes, and
Okay.
yeah, and I wanted to before while it's in front of me, there's a comment. If you can answer it, the lady said, "What about someone who has thyroid issues? I am a hypothyroidism."
Well, I'm glad you said that. And my daughter actually has thyroid issues, but I tell her, if you start detoxing, because we should not succumb to what we think we may have or what the doctor has diagnosed us as. You may have it, but there are some other avenues where you can actually turn to detoxing and cleansing your body. And I tell people, a lot of people like doing the black seed oil, those types of things, but you have to be careful with oils too as well. And there is another oil that they just came out. It's oregano oil. I have not tried, but I believe it helps a whole lot with some of the autoimmune diseases that we actually have within our body. So I advise you, and you need to, I'm advising, but I want you to talk with your doctor first. Okay, because a lot of people can't take a lot of things because of the medication that they take. And we have to be careful with the medication that you actually take too when you start mixing your greens and all of those things. If you're taking cumin and all those blood thinners, you cannot do a lot of the greens, because what the greens does, it's vitamin K. So it keeps us flowing with the blood within our body. So you have to be very careful about that. But if, I can say that if you are starting to detox and cleanse your body, you would do well. My daughter does some of the things that I'm telling her to do to keep her thyroids, at a minimum. And I just think it's just the foods that we eat. So let your fruits and vegetables be your medicine. Let it be your medicine. You just got to figure out which route you want to go to diminish your illness that you may have or that you think you may have. But just remember that God does not allow us to have these illnesses. We get into this thing, we got this illness. No, you got to rebuke that spirit. You got to let that go. Because I thought I was having certain things that was going on with me. I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. And then when I went to the doctor, I can tell you, my gynecologist, she's like, well, how did you get rid of that? I detox and cleanse. Okay. Detox and cleanse. And you have to find your program that fits you. I do have programs that help a lot of people. And I've had a couple of people that was trying to get their law degree, and they focus like, I can't focus, I don't know what to do. So when I put them on a cleanse, and it was like boom, like that, they just started being able, they did not have a foggy mind, they had a very clear mindset, and they were doing some things that would help them to determine their destiny. And it is the food that we eat, because a lot of the processed foods that we eat, like white bread and white flour, white rice, white potato, pasta, those things give us a setback because it has so much sugar in it that it allows us to have these issues. And like I tell everybody, white sugar is like crack cocaine. That's why people energy be so high, and then all of a sudden they have a crash. And that's an issue. So we think about that. And if you like drinking coffee, I'm saying stop drinking caffeinated coffee. Start drinking decaf coffee, and you'll see the difference in how you respond to whatever. Because I drink decaf coffee at night along with my blend. I'm knocked out. My husband is knocked out because he drinks it too. Like he said, "You're gonna make that coffee tonight." So yeah, you just gotta be able to change and go along the process.
Awesome. So this is her book. It's on Amazon as well. I will put the link in the comments for both of her books. And this is the 20-day Daniel fast recipes. And so we have talked about some awesome beneficial things to our health and our mindset. So I would like to ask, we already talked about who would benefit from we didn't, but it's a spiritual fast. It's part of a spiritual fast. We're dealing with our physical, our mental, and so there's a part in your book, in the 21-day Daniel fast recipe, that talks about your SMART goals. So, what are some of the helpful tips to stay focused?
Well, first and foremost, when I first in the morning, is thank you, Lord. That's what I mean. When I'm hitting the floor, is thank you, Lord. And I praise God at that particular time because you never know what the day is going to be like. And so what I have done was use those goals to enhance how successful I'm going to be that day. Am I going to eat the way I'm supposed to eat? Am I going to overeat? Am I going to want something I shouldn't have? And if you're setting goals, you're going to determine how your destiny is going to move forth. And the thing is, you're going to use your Bible to find your answers because everything, and I know you know this, everything that we do in life is found in the Word. Every food that we eat, because it talks about different foods. You got to know what foods to make sure you're eating to do what you have to do. You have to manifest and you have to believe beyond what God has promised you. You have to know that God will help you if you start submitting to his plans for you. So when you talk about SMART goals, you're talking about 5 different things. You're talking about being specific. You got to be specific of what you are planning to do. How you're going to make that approach. How am I going to make sure that I am eating healthy, my family is eating healthy, and we can thrive. We can get rid of the high blood pressure. We can get rid of the fibromyalgia. We can get rid of all of that stuff. Because he said it in his word. He doesn't want us to be unhealthy. I put it that way. He will always be healthy. You have to make sure you are measuring what you're doing, your measurable goals. How do I look at measurable goals? Am I being a person where I can put things in perspective and I know that I'm doing the right thing at all times? When I go to the grocery store, am I buying potato chips, cookies, candy, whatever? Or am I buying the fruits, the apples, the oranges, the bananas, the greens, the spinach, the cauliflower? You got to remember that. You got to put yourself in that position. If I start packing my basket or I used to call it a buggy. If I started packing my basket with healthy foods, am I going to live longer? Or am I going to make my life shorter? Those are the things we got to think about. That's how you measure it's measurable. You got to be able to weigh how it's going to look on a scale for you. How can it be attainable? So when you're looking at something that's attainable, can I do this? Can I really do this every day? Can I really afford to eat healthy? I know eating healthy is very, very expensive. It is very expensive. But guess what? You live longer. You do better. You look better. You even, I mean, seriously, your skin starts to clear. You feel lighter. You can think better. So it is attainable. You really can do this help if you really into making sure you're going to eat healthy on a daily basis. And I'm here to help you. If you would like for me to help you, that would not be a problem. I have written a book that is not published and is toward teachers who cannot function in the classroom. They get frustrated and they're ready to quit within a year. So, and I try to teach them, this is what you have to do to make sure you can maintain in your classroom. Of course, you're going to get upset. Of course, you're going to get frustrated with the students when they're not learning. But there are certain things that you can do to keep your calmness. So basically, when we start looking at other things like realistic, you got to have some realistic goals. You got to make sure it's real, because you want to have, when you go home, okay, what's in my fridge today? Realistically, you got a bunch of stuff that you shouldn't be eating. And you got to think about, what am I eating? What am I eating? What am I going to eat today? So you want to be able to cook food that's going to give you the nutrients that you need. You want to drink your teas. You want to detox at least 3 times a year. If you can't do 14 days, and I guarantee you, if you can do 10 days of detoxing and cleansing, you will see the difference in your lifestyle. You will see that things will change for you. It all is all done on a timely basis. That's when you got to commit yourself to the time. Commit yourself to that particular time. I guarantee you, it's going to be a whole different ball game for you. You got to want to change. You got to want to have the best eating habit. You got to want to do it. You must maintain a proper function of your body organs when you're fasting too. Yes. That means you got to be flushing. That means you have to drink in a certain amount of water every single day. And I tell everybody, if you're going to cleanse, you need to drink in 64 ounces of water a day, or half your body weight every single day, and you will see the difference. Make sure you are going to release your bowels. That means you're going to take in more fiber, your healthy fats, avocado, chia seeds, flax seeds. You're going to mix it within your foods. You can mix it within whatever you're eating too. You can cook with it. You're not going to be tasting it. It's just going to be going into the digestive system like it's supposed to, and flushing out your bowels. And I tell everybody, you must go to the restroom at least, flush your bowels at least 2 to 3 times a day.
I'm glad you mentioned the flax seeds, because I actually need to buy me some more, but I had started getting the flax seeds during my procedure. I have to say, I think a lot of the things, like you have to start from somewhere, and like doing the teas, doing the like you said, taking in water, like the flax seeds. I had started doing my flax seeds, and my daughter was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's my flax seeds." She was like, I don't know if I can get down with that, because it don't look pretty depending on what you're putting it in.
Right, and make sure you're doing make sure you're doing the grounded flax seeds, because that's what you need to put into your.
Because the ground is more, it's not like as thick.
Like meal. You can actually cook your cakes and pies with the flax seeds.
Okay. Okay. So I wanted to also, so with the water, the 64, you said 64 ounces of water, or at least to your body weight?
Yes, half of your body weight. Whatever your body weight is, you half it. That's how many bottles of water that you have a day. You're getting plenty of water. You don't want to be overhydrated, but you want to be making sure that you're hydrated enough that you're flushing is coming out. And you're going to the bathroom regularly, and that's going to help with the bowel too. It's going to help it move a lot.
I was going to say, I drink now. I'm doing better on my water intake. However, if I know I'm going to go out, I may not drink as much water, because maybe my bladder. I'll be going to the bathroom. I'll be like, Now I try to get my water in at least during lunchtime, because if I can drink, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I kind of drink like during my lunch break. Because in the morning I do a recipe, my own recipe, where it's basically I try to drink cranberry juice, 100% cranberry juice, and I drink green tea. So I warm it up, I put my my bag in it and warm it up and drink it with my apple cider vinegar and my lemon.
Right.
So I drink that in the morning. I sip on it in the mornings. But anyway, I also drink I take in 2 bottles of water like back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, before the end of my shift, I can take in another 2. So if that way I can start running to the bathroom while I'm home. So because I don't want to be running to the bathroom once I leave my house.
Let me give you an idea when you know that you're toxic. You urinate a lot. You're pooping a lot. That's when you know you're toxic. When you first start, that's when you know.
Okay.
So 2 or 3 times a day is supported by doctors, and which is good. And a lot of people don't do 2. Some people don't even do 1 day, and that's when that's why they are frustrated and they get agitated and irritated. So they have to make sure they're drinking plenty of water and making sure they're taking in the fiber so it can help flush out. So when you are doing the fruits and vegetables, it will help you because fruit has some fiber in it too as well.
Awesome. This has been great. So let's talk about chapter 12. Do you have a moment to go over chapter 12, getting on the right path after the fast, clarity, fatality, and serenity, health?
Yes, go ahead. Ask your question.
Yes. Well, it's not really a question. I just wanted you to kind of elaborate on that chapter when it comes to getting on the right path after the fast.
Okay. Now, if you're going to fast for the 10 and 14 days or however many days, 21 days of the Daniel fast is what most churches do anyway. And so getting on the right path is making sure you have your clarity, your serenity, and your understanding of your inner being. And what you do, I have a set of recipes that I actually do. I actually do a flush cleanse. When I say flush cleanse, it is actually a soup recipe that has a variety of things in it, a lot of vegetables that are in it to help you flush, to change over. It's like a transition. So you've been on this fast for 21 days. You have to make sure you're transitioning out of that fast and not starting back to eat all the other regular foods. This is only if you want to lose weight. But if you're doing that transition, which is the last chapter, you have to make sure you're eating the right foods. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with the same thing you've been doing before. So you want to take your time. You may want to do a few smoothies. You may want to go back to some of the recipes. You may want to do some of the fruit water recipes that I have in the book. Just making sure you put is infused water. That's what it's called, infused fruit water. You're going to put some fruit in there that you like. It's different ones that are in the book that you can look at. And so the 21 days allows us to understand God's will. After we have prayed, after we have eaten the right foods, you want to be successful. Whatever expectation or whatever you have asked God for, you should have grown spiritually in that manner to understand this is what he wants to happen in your life. So he has the plan. You just have to follow the plan. You want to be able to recap the benefits of the Daniel fast. And you want to be able to look at the Daniel fast as a self-body fasting cleanser where you are eliminating certain things or certain foods. We don't want to go back to the same habit because we're asking God to do something and we promise him we're going to do it the way he wants us to do it. Why would you turn back?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that? And so I always want God to do things for me when I go on my cleanses. I need him to either set the ground straight for me so I can move in the direction he wants me to go. But I do suggest changing your eating habits while you're at some serious illnesses or things like that. And you feel like, okay, well, I got this arthritis. I got to get rid of this arthritis. I'm hurting. I can't get up out of the bed. I'm slow moving. Those types of things, you got to remember what you prayed God for. If you are praying in the season and you're doing the right thing while you're changing the habit, you're getting to the healthy part of you. And you can be part of you. You can drink smoothies for a couple of weeks. You can replace your meals. At the same time, you got to keep God first. You got to be real about what you're doing. I've always asked God, keep me healthy, keep me looking the way that you want me to look. And every time I look in the mirror, it is so amazing. I'm like, it's just unreal, because you can see people that are the same age as you, or either just a few years younger than you, look older than you. A lot of people don't know that if you are considering changes, and I'm not going to say diet, let's take diet out of the picture. I'm about benefiting yourself through eating healthy.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of food deserts, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what stores I'm talking about. I can go in there. Oh, I want these. I want this one because it's $1. It's $20. It's $2. When I either have curtains or do something different in my classroom, and I'm very careful about making wise choices. So, with this Healthier You program, detoxification should be on the list. The 21-day Daniel fast is to get you right with God. That's what you want to do. You want to make that plan. You want to be able to justify, what's my purpose, God? Why am I here? I want to be healthier. I want to live longer. I want to see my grandchildren. I want to see my great-grandchildren, because that prayer, I'm telling you, God has answered that prayer for me. I have 2 beautiful grandsons. Like, I wouldn't give them up for nothing in the world. I do everything. I go to bats. I get a second job if I had to, but I do help with my grandchildren. And so, and now my husband is on, he did the fast with me when I first started. And he didn't even look the same, like a little boy. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Let's back up. And I wish I wish I'd have had the pictures ready, because I would showed you.
Wow.
What I looked like before I started cleansing. I mean, it was horrible. Like black splotches, like on my face. You know what I mean? And
yes.
So dark circles, fat hands, fat face, all those things. So, and you'll see a change. I guarantee you. Just put your hand in God's hand and ask Him for the change that you're looking for, and the things that you want Him to do. Not only the change of your body, but the change of whatever you want Him to do, whether you want to buy a house. And I'm telling you, and it works, because I just bought my first house year before last.
Congratulations. Yes.
And He gave it to me.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Yes, because I've been in Georgia now for I've been in Georgia for almost 15 years. And can you imagine renting for almost 15 years?
So what part of Georgia are you in?
I'm in Kennesaw.
Okay.
I'm in Kennesaw, Georgia. When I first moved, I taught in Roswell, Georgia. And so I actually lived in Woodstock. And my landlord was great. And he wanted to sell his house. And I told my husband, I don't want to buy this house. This is not the house I want. It's not it. And I'm just going to tell you this right quick, because a lot of people don't know it. And I don't mind telling my testimony, because I'm going to tell you what God has brought me from. Even though I started this program in 2013 dealing with the program, I was still making videos. I was still making my smoothies. I was still trying to make sure I made contact with God. I wanted Him to hear me. I wanted Him to open my eyes. I needed to see some things. I needed to hear some things. I needed to be able to speak. Whatever I needed to do, I needed to do this according to what God wanted me to do.
Yes.
Even though God had me in that house for 5 years, I went homeless after I decided to move out, because I told him, man, I did not want to buy that house. That was not my dream home.
Right.
And we were out. We stayed in a hotel almost 6 months until I actually moved into another rental property. Do you know I stayed in that other rental property for 5 years?
Wow.
I was still waiting on God. So that's why you got to still wait.
Yes.
You got to patiently wait. And let me tell you something. Right now, and I live in Kennesaw, everybody that see me, oh my God. I'm telling you, my brother, my sister, all of them had houses. They had bought houses before me. I'm the oldest. They had already bought houses. I said, now God, it's my turn. When is it going to be my
Yes.
turn? You promised me. And you got to always hold him to his promise. You got to remind him.
Yes.
Because he wanted to make sure you still got your ears and eyes open to him.
Yes.
So when I'm telling you, this is 2026, 2024. I was 2024. It was 2023. I told my daughter, I said, pack your stuff. We get ready to move, darling. We will not be here next Christmas. She just looked at me funny because my daughter's still with me. She's still my child. She's an old lady, but she's 38, but she's still there. So I said, y'all pack your stuff. She just looked at me funny. I said, we get ready to move. And I'm not telling you, God is my witness. It was the spring of 2024. Those people called me, you got this house. And it was the first house I had, because I've been shopping around for a while. I don't think that God works. I've been shopping, and I was dealing with my health, and I was trying to make sure I was going to stay healthy. My family's going to stay healthy. We got a roof over our heads. We can eat. We can do whatever we need to do. And so when I decided this house was on the market one day. I said, that's my house right there.
That's a testimony.
And that's my house.
Listen, that's a testimony. I'm glad you said that.
Today, I'm in that house today. Trust me, what I tell you, I'm in that house today. And when I go home, I'm okay. I am okay. My yard is huge. I'm okay. My husband tells me right now, he'll tell you if he was on with me, that's the best thing you done did, lady. I'm telling you. So we got to wait on God. And when you cleansing and you're fasting, and by his grace, it will be done. Trust me, it will be done. I'm excited, and I'm excited to do this. I'm going to tell you why before we get off this platform. I asked God about my business this past year. I said, Lord, I actually read my first book year before last while I was in the waiting for this house. I said, what is it you want me to do? I need you to go back doing a healthier you. I said, well, I want to change some things. And that's when I came up with the blend to put in your coffee, your tea, whatever you need. You're going to watch for it. And I've been asking, a lot of people don't like AI, but let me tell you something about my phone. I love my Gemini because my Gemini give me some ideas that I've never thought of, never. And so when I'm talking to the Gemini and I'm trying to get my ideas in with the Gemini, we come up with some amazing things.
Okay.
So let
me ask you this as an educator. Let me ask you this as an educator. So now I should probably know this, but I'm just asking. Look, we destroyed by the lack of knowledge. But what's the difference between the Gemini and the Chat GPT?
Well, the only difference is that it's personal to me. It's more personal.
Okay.
I have it's always at my phone. I don't have to worry about typing in, trying to ask GPT to do anything for me. So all I just was push my button. We got these ideas. As of right now, I'm the president of Cobb Democratic Women for the whole Cobb County. And so we have some things that's going on that I want to make sure we're going to shake some ground. So if y'all not voting, I'll tell you right now, I'm an advocate about voting. So get out and vote. And so bringing all that together, I've been talking to God. What am I going to do after that's another testimony. I'm not going to be going through that one, but I'm going to just let you know this. I said, when am I going to get ready to retire? Because I'm about to retire. And it keeps coming back to what we're doing right now and advocating for people to vote and do the right thing, because right now we have a problem that's out there in that real world. And so I want more women to start coming together because we move and shape things. And it's differently, even though we're Black women. If you even have some Caucasian women on, it doesn't matter. I'm very diverse. I love diversity. I embrace diversity. I like people to be in the game, whatever they have to do, And so my thing is that to come together, and we got to live our healthy lives. And I do love Black women vitamins. I love them. I use that. And another thing, add some collagen. Add some collagens to your teas and to your coffees. Add it in your foods. Bake it. You need the collagen.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm a science teacher. I teach science.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you know I know a lot. I did work in the medical field before I became a teacher.
Okay.
And
Okay. So what
when
school do you work at now?
I work in the lines of Alabama. I actually come to work in Alabama during the course of the week. And the reason why I came is because I am trying to retire. Most of my years were in Alabama. I did work in Georgia, I worked in Cobb, and I worked in Fulton County. And so I came back to just to retire. And so I have like 2 years, and I'm trying to put things in perspective to make sure that I am reaching every aspect that I can. I'm just solely engaged in doing a lot of extracurricular activity at my school. Like I said, I do the praise dancers at the school, which are known as our praise theater and drummer dance team. And I do the skits or whatever we need to do to get done. I do the choir because I still sing. And so, I just do a whole lot. I try not to, and that's another thing. We should never let our minds really, really rest unless we're resting and going to sleep. And so, I do get the rest that I need, but at the same time, that's why I cleanse, because a lot of people don't do that. They work and work and work and don't understand that your mind can diminish. You can have dementia or Parkinson's disease. That's why you detox and cleanse too as well. And that's why you're not trying to take in all the red meat and leave that alone. Eat your chickens and things like that. Like the Bible said, you eat your foul foods that you're properly supposed to eat.
This has been awesome. Very, very awesome. And thank you for all the tips. This has been awesome. Like really needed. Really, really needed. And a great time. It's the beginning of 2026. I don't do resolutions either because I'm, working on like the consistency of, lifestyle. So if you all, again, I put her information in the comments, and before we end the show tonight, Dr. Vickie, I would like for you to give the people information on where they can contact you. I did put, if you need help, to contact you, your name, but I didn't give them like if you have like your media. So give the people information on how they can contact you, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, wherever you are. Let the people know where you are so we can find you.
Okay, so most of the time I do Instagram. Instagram is good about allowing things to happen the way it should happen. Facebook, they try to diminish a lot the algorithms. I'm on Facebook too as well. On Instagram is at Dr. V Ben. Dr. V as in Vickie, B as in Ian. And on Facebook, I think I'm just Dr. Vickie Benson. On me on Facebook, like Ms. Ragland did. I was like, oh, okay. So that was awesome. And I'm glad, because that was just confirmation in the spirit, because God allowed that to happen again for me.
It's very confirmation. So I'm going to be contacting you right after the show. I'm telling you, God, listen, when it comes to his will, when it comes to the purpose and will of God, he will connect you with the right people at the right timing. So I know whether people are watching live, whether people watch the replay, they're going to be blessed.
And you can, let me give you my email address too. The email, because I have two different ones, you can actually reach me at Dr. Vickie Benson. I'm sorry, this is the Fit and Smooth. I'm sorry. It is Fit and Smooth Cleanse 2016. Fit and Smooth the Cleanse 2016 at gmail.com. And that's when I wrote the 21-day Daniel fast, was in 2016. So it's easy. It's Fit Smoothie Cleanse 2016 at gmail.com. Or you can reach me at Dr. Vickie. I'm going to give you all my campaign when I'm sorry.
No problem. No. And then at the end, also, if you don't mind, after the show, to enter your information, like your email and the website in the comments as well. That way it's clickable.
Okay, so my regular email is Vickie Harris, which is a former name, well, my maiden name, 1464@gmail.com. 1464@gmail.com. Dr. Vickie Harris, 1464@gmail.com. So either one of those would be fine to send me an email, or you can send an email at President at Cobb Democratic Women at gmail.com.
Yes,
Just send me an email. If you need me to do anything within the community when it comes to voting, all those things, we do connect. I do have an executive board. They're very active and we're very engaged.
Awesome. Thank you. It has been awesome to have you tonight. And we are, as the She's Purpose community, again, would like to just celebrate you, congratulate you, support you. Again, my platform is She's Purpose Key is to lead, is to serve, and to elevate. And so we thank you. Everyone, make sure that you click on the Amazon link and that you share the show tonight. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.